imagine if I were to set up a booth in a popular city square and I got a poster board and I said, I'll charge you $1 and I will tell you if you're gonna go bald or not. If I were to do that, I'd make a lot of dollars. I would. It is something I could get away with doing and I would be right about, because to me it's very obvious who's gonna lose their hair and who's not. I have made I've made thousands of videos on this one channel about the topic. I've truly, this channel has well over 2,500 videos on it, most of those about hair loss. And I do know if you're gonna go bald, and yet on a daily basis, people will email me, Nick, here's a picture. Will you just tell me if I'm gonna go bald? And I don't respond to those emails anymore, because for me it's about teaching you to fish. It's about you being independent based on what I teach in my videos, and that is, it's based on you growing a full beard by the time you're 18. If that happens to you, you're more likely to go bald. And you also look at a picture of yourself at 1 year old and you look at your hair, and that's a good projection of you at age 35. You combine those two thoughts. If you're the kind of person who could grow a full beard by the time you were 18, you're probably going to lose your hair sooner in life, but check it with that picture of yourself of 1 year old. And if you look at the 1 year old picture and you can see that your hairline goes up pretty high and you could grow a full beard before 18, yeah, you'll probably be losing your hair earlier in life compared to the guy who still doesn't have a connected beard by the time he's 20 or 25. And the guy, when you look at his 1 year old photo, is just the lowest little hairline there. To me, that's all I really need to know about a person. In fact, I'll tell you this, and I made a video about this, I mentioned this. I was getting a haircut one time, and it was a boy's, I think it was his 17th birthday, and that was made mention as he and his mom walked away after he got his haircut, and I stopped him and I said, oh, it's your birthday? Let me tell you something, here's my birthday gift to you. You're not gonna go bald. You are gonna be an old man who still has a full head of hair. And I explained to him why that is, because at 17, he couldn't grow, he was trying to, but he couldn't grow anything really, just little tiny little patches. And then his mother was with him and said, you know, I'm sure you're right. And she explained how one of his grandfathers was in the 70s and has zero hair loss. And it's not about basing it on one grandparent or one parent. It's using what I just said about the beard and the 1 year old photo. And then it just so happened that the mom was able to confirm that they have that gene in there that you keep your hair. So I can look at anybody and know if they're gonna go bald sooner in life or not. And so can you. I just give you 3 minutes for free. No need to send me pictures. Not that I don't care about you or appreciate you, but I want you to do this thing for yourself. And watch more of my videos if you need to. I'm the only person in the world who talks about this openly. Yes, it's all a theory, and yes, there's exceptions to the rule. But if it's right the majority of the time, I mean, again, compare any Japanese man to any man from Scotland. You're gonna see the obvious situation where the man from Scotland has an awesome beard and he's losing his hair, but the Japanese guy probably can't grow much here, but he's still got the full head of hair even later in life. And you can look at your 1 year old photo, and let me explain that again, if in case you've missed this. Double your height when you're 2 years old. Double that in numbers of centimeters and inches. That's how tall you are as a full-grown man. And that's how I figured this whole thing out, that there are certain mathematical equations where you can figure out and project the future. Because that's what my mom did for my sister and I, and it was right to the inch. I was always meant to be 5'9". Because of, and yeah, a 2 year old, I know that sounds weird, because you're like, no way, yeah, a 2 year old, and it's gonna be the same way with my son. I did that with him. It's gonna be the same way with my daughter. It works out to the inch. My son's gonna be 5'8". My daughter is gonna be 5'6.5". My wife is 5'6". I'm 5'9". It's worked in so many ways. So I took that and thought, let me use this for hair loss. It's not about how much hair you have when you're a baby, when you're born. Don't care, irrelevant. It matters about how much hair you have at age 1. That's what matters. That's the projection of you at age 35, because age 35 is the big year. If you have anything beyond like a Norwood 3 or greater, you're going to be balding. Or diffuse thinning, you're going to be balding. But if you're still hanging on to a Norwood 2 or better with no thinning and you're 35, you're the guy that gets to keep his hair, and probably the guy who, even if you can grow a full beard, it came later in life. What's funny is I'm supposed to start this video with this comment, and I got all caught up in that. So this is like a backwards video. Here's the video that inspired it. I made a video, how to know if your hairline is receding versus balding, 2018 edition. John the Don, that's what his name is, he asked the question, quote, "Hey Nick, so if a line is not perfectly straight, doesn't it mean it's receding?" And that's the question, and my answer is irrelevant question, fortunately. Doesn't matter about your actual hairline. I mean, you could be someone who has a very low hairline and then maybe it goes down right there. Okay, maybe you have a hairline that is not, maybe it's circled in like this. Maybe you've just kind of always had a hairline that was more like this. None of that matters. The hairline itself is not so important, because you may just have a hairline that's naturally resembling a Norwood 2, and maybe you always had that. Doesn't matter. What I said in the first part of this video matters. So don't worry about your hairline not being straight across. It's not so much about that. Yes, there are different Norwoods. There's Norwood 1, there's Norwood 2, and then there's Norwood 3, which is the rounded off peninsula, not only both here but up in here. Mine's rounded here, not quite rounded here. I'm sure I'll get there before too long, but right now it hasn't. So don't worry about the hairline being not straight across. If you're not showing signs of balding as far as your hair is starting to thin out, in addition to what I've already said, then yeah, don't worry about that. There's my answer. And I know that I've said a lot of things in this video that most of you are very familiar with, but keep in mind, this channel is growing so quickly that a lot of people have never heard that stuff that I just said. And maybe if you haven't heard it in a while, it's important you know that, because I always want you to think of me when you think of figuring out if you're losing your hair. Because no one else in the world does what I do, says what I say, has theorized what I've theorized. This stuff didn't exist before me. I will go down in history for the man who discovered it. Maybe who never became famous for it, but who discovered it before the scientists did. I am smarter than scientists. Comments belong right here.